Welcome to If News. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss a breaking story. So it's time for another weekly news video. In this video, I take a look at zombie gastropods. Another step closer to disclosure, with a congressman penning a letter to the US Navy requesting that they tell all in regards to the information they keep hidden on UFOs. We close out with a cryptozoology story and what could be the discovery or rediscovery of a once extinct species of giant bird. Maybe the legends of the Thunderbird are real. So let's get the ball rolling with the zombie snail that has been taking the internet by storm. The video of the shelled horror has been doing the rounds on social media sites. The pulsating body of the snail has been grossing many out. The snail, with his undulating green and orange worm-filled body, has reminded many of just how weird nature can be. The video was first posted by Mike Inoue, and it shows an unfortunate snail which has had its body taken over by a parasitic flatworm. You can see the parasite latched onto the snail's eye stalks and taken over its motor functions. The parasite is called, I'm sorry for my pronunciation, Leococolodium, and is a type of flatworm that when it invades a host, it takes control of the infected animal's movements. It then proceeds to mimic the movements of a caterpillar. This with the aim of attracting a bird so that the bird will consume the snail, can then reproduce inside the bird before its young are passed by the bird, ready to start the cycle again. This flatworm species is most commonly found in the forests of Northern America and Europe. The worm is known to infect other species of animal, such as birds, and is commonly found in sparrows, crows, and finches. This is not the only zombie created by Mother Nature. There are a number of other parasites which operate in the same way. These mini bioterrorists hijack a host body and manipulate that host's behavior to the benefit of the parasite, and often the demise of their host. Let's take a look at a few of these mini terrors and see just what they are capable of. First up are the web-slinging wasps. Females of the Costa Rican wasp lay their eggs on the abdomens of unlucky orb spiders. Once the eggs have hatched, they spend a number of weeks feeding off their host. When nearing full growth, they inject the spider with a chemical. This chemical forces the spider to build a new web. A web of a design which the spider would not normally weave. This new web has been built to provide a cocoon to the maturing wasp larva, and before they move in, they consume their arachnid slave. Next up is a creature that is often associated with being hardy and is so tough to kill, it is said it could survive a nuclear war. The cockroach. So what could make this already repulsive creature worse? How about a zombified cockroach? The cockroach's worst day begins when a female jewel wasp chooses to reproduce. She hunts down a cockroach to act as a living nursery for her offspring. First, the wasp injects a paralyzing toxin into the insect. This renders its front legs unusable. Then she strikes again, this time into the roach's head. The toxin that is injected into the head of the roach latches onto the parts of the insect's brain that are responsible for its movement. From that moment of the first bite, the cockroach is no longer in control of its body. The wasp then grabs the antenna and guides the roach to a burrow. This is where the wasp will lay her eggs on the victim and entomb them together. The cockroach is slowly consumed by the wasp larva over several days. In another case of parasite resembling a creature from a horror movie, we find mind-controlling slime balls. This flatworm lives in the livers of grazing mammals such as sheep and cattle. Here, it does not cause any major health concerns. It is once again when it wishes to reproduce that a hideous cycle begins. The flatworm's eggs are excreted in the host's feces. They are then consumed by snails. After a short incubation, the eggs hatch inside the snail. The snail's body creates a protective cyst around the parasites. The snail then coughs them up in balls of mucus. In the next step of the cycle, these fluke-laden slime balls are eaten by ants. This is when the flukes hatch and wiggle their way into the ant's brain. They cause the insect to climb to the tip of a blade of grass and sit motionless. This is where it is most likely going to be eaten by a grazing mammal. This completes the reproductive cycle, with the young flukes now being inside a host animal's liver. Another weird fluke causes fish to dance to their death. This fluke worm begins its life in an ocean-dwelling horn snail, where it produces larvae that, before it goes in search of its next host, kill a fish. When this parasite has found a fish, it enters the brain of the fish through its gills. It is at this point that the fish loses control. Its body is flooded by dopamine and serotonin levels decrease, this controlled by the fluke. As a result of this unbalance in brain chemistry, the fish behaves erratically, swimming in a way that makes it attract predatory birds. They eat the unfortunate fish and, in turn, return eggs to the oceans to be eaten by the snails in their droppings. As humans, we don't escape these brain invaders. There are many parasites that can infect and change our behavior. If you would like to see that covered in a video, let me know in the comments. The next story is some breaking UFO news. Yet again, the move toward full disclosure looks like it is building in momentum, with a congressman seeking answers from the Department of Defense and disclosure of what they have found in their UFO endeavors. Ufology has become a bit of a hot topic in Washington, D.C., and the latest news is that a congressman has written a letter to the Secretary of the Navy formally asking the military branch what they know about UFOs. A letter penned by House Representative Mark Walker of North Carolina, a member of the House Committee on Homeland Security and a ranking member of the Subcommittee on Intelligence and Counterterrorism, was addressed to Secretary of the U.S. Navy Richard Spencer. It reads, "In recent days, members of Congress and the public have seen press reports regarding unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, engaging with our naval aviators. The reports mention the existence of these encounters both domestically and abroad during various missions and trainings. We have also seen statements made by the Department of Defense regarding steps taken by the Navy to draft new guidelines for aviators to report these occurrences." The Navy themselves commented on the UFO phenomena, saying, "There have been a number of reports of unauthorized and/or unidentified aircraft entering various military-controlled ranges and designated airspace in recent years." The Navy, speaking to Politico, said, "For safety and security concerns, the Navy and the U.S. Air Force take these reports very seriously and investigate each and every report. If these accounts are true," the letter continues, "the unidentified craft could pose a serious security risk to our military personnel and defense apparatus. The capabilities displayed by these craft show that they have been designed and built using extreme advances in quantum mechanics, nuclear science, electromagnetic and thermodynamics." The War Zone, a defense and aviation section of the technology news website The Drive, covered the controversial patents regarding theoretical aviation technologies submitted by an engineer at the Naval Air Warfare Center Aircraft Division, NORCAD. They note that the technology in these patents sounds eerily similar to the UFOs reported by Navy pilots in the now well-known encounters. This idea of back-engineered alien technology has long been a theory that ufologists have cited as a reason that the defense agencies want to keep the subject a secret. The chief technical officer of the Naval Aviation Enterprise wrote a letter to defend the technology, claiming that the US needs the patents as the Chinese are already investing significantly in the same such aerospace technology. He goes on to say, "Additionally, there have been reports of significant investments in advanced aerospace technologies like the recorded UAP encounters by China." Walker also asked a question in his letter, and that was if the department found physical evidence or otherwise that substantiates these claims. The final question posed by the congressman was, does the department have any information regarding private companies or foreign nations who have made significant advances in aerophysics? Walker ends the letter stating that these questions are vital to national security and scientific research and of significant public interest. Closing out the video, we now have a cryptozoological story with the spotting of what is claimed to be a giant extinct prehistoric bird spotted in the Arizona sky. The story begins with a 38-year-old woman in Maricopa County who says she spotted a bird that is believed to have gone extinct some 3 million years ago. The eyewitness, an avid ornithologist, provided a detailed description and location for the giant creature, but asked to remain anonymous when talking with Cryptozoology News. She tells of how on a Saturday she was driving home when she was surprised to see the purported bird. She told the story saying, "I was driving north on a 6-lane road. I was coming from the grocery store and I saw an extremely large bird flying very low. It was on the same side of the road but going in the opposite direction of traffic, heading south. The wingspan took up 3 lanes of the traffic." The witness swears that the avian cryptid had a wingspan of over 20 feet. She went on to say, "The bird was a brownish grey colour. It was light coloured. I am a bird lover and often go into nature with my binoculars to explore birds. I love birds and I know what cranes, eagles and hawks look like. This resembled a crane but had a longer neck and its wings were massive. It was flying so low I was concerned that it could fly into a car, but it just kept soaring." She went on to add that she didn't have enough time to grab her phone and snap pictures, and that she was unable to stop in the middle of the lane for fear of causing a collision. She did say, in retrospective though, "I wish I had done a U-turn and followed it. I regret not thinking that at the time." The Arizona woman said that the bird looked like something which didn't belong in the area, and that after researching what she had seen online, she found that it looked similar to the Oligocene dinosaur Pelongeris sandersii. It looked and felt like it was prehistoric. "When I found the illustration of that bird, it looked almost exactly like that," she said. This is just the latest in a series of witness reports of giant flying creatures. 8 months ago, a woman in Pennsylvania claimed to see a similar bird. Back in July of 2015, 2 people in Nevada said they saw a creature that reminded them of a pterosaur, a flying reptile believed to have gone extinct about 65 million years ago. 2 weeks later, a minister and her daughter claimed to have seen an unidentified flying creature that again looked like it was straight out of Jurassic Park. Living pterosaurs and thunderbirds are creatures which I have looked at before here on the channel. Check out the links above. So what are your thoughts on these stories? Had you read them already? Are there any other news stories that you would like to see me cover here on the channel? If so, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, the giveaway is almost coming to an end. If you want a chance to win a free shirt, hit that like button, comment, and don't forget to give me a follow on Twitter. As always, if you like what I do here on the channel, hit that red button, like and share. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.